Hey folks, V978 here. I told you I was going to do a cleaning video, and I'm going to do just that. I'm doing a cleaning video on the Para Expert 1911 45. This is how I clean it. Some people, and I have been told that maybe I'm OCD just a little. But I feel as though, you buy a gun, especially nowadays, you buy a gun, they're really expensive. And it's not just buying a gun, it's also an investment. And it's something that you can pass down from to your kids, to your kids' kids, and on down the line. But you got to take care of them. They're not just impervious to the elements and breakage and things like that. You got to take care of them, and you definitely, one of the most important things in that is keeping them clean. I clean mine after every time I shoot. Sometimes I clean it. I clean my guns just to clean my guns, because they get dusty or something, if they're not in a case. And as I said, they're expensive anymore. I mean, like you're looking at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and up. $100 into the thousands. And once you start getting a collection of them, and then you're really talking some money. And so it's very important to take good care of them. Now, before I start the cleaning video, I do just want to throw this in there. I did put up a video. I think I put it up on. Maybe I didn't. Okay, well, I'm just going to put it out here now, so you all know. Okay, this is rim oil. There was a test put out by, I can't remember his name, on YouTube here. He did a video on people wanted to know how good the oils were, the cleaning solvents and things. So he did a video on he used rim oil, CLP, I think Miltech, and a few other oils. But the thing about it is, what he did is he did six. He had six pieces of steel, and then he had one above them, and that was the control. That was the one. It didn't get anything. It didn't get any lead. What he did was he sprayed salt water on all the steel, and then he sprayed each one of the oils, or whatever you want to call it, cleaners, on those pieces of steel, and let them set. And he would come back every 3 or 4 hours, and he would he'd check them and to see which, if they were rusting, to the salt water. And he let it sit overnight. He went to work, come back home. Well, the rim oil was the worst. Okay, I haven't got, when I'm going actually tomorrow, and this is full, and I'm going to throw this in the trash. This allowed more rust than I think it was like Mobil 1 synthetic. That was the other oil he used. He used actual motor oil, and it being actually, I think it was the best, but I'm not putting motor oil on my guns. But next to it, the best one was CLP. So, food for thought. I'm going to CLP. The Miltech did okay, but Rim oil, that is this, did the worst. It allowed the most rust, and I couldn't believe it. I have always used rim oil, and I will never use it again. After this video, you see it, when the next time I do a cleaning video, you're gonna see CLP. Period. End of story. Okay. Moving on. Moving right along here. So, this is how I do it. This is how I clean my guns. This is 1911 especially. And so, this is how I do it. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it however you want to do it. I'm not taking any heat if something happens to somebody's gun because they took it apart and couldn't get it back together, or whatever. This is clean at your own risk. This is just what I do and how I do it and how I'll continue to do it. So let's get into it. Okay. Let's get down here. Alright. Alright. There we go. And so this is the Para Expert that I did the video on. I did the video because I love this gun. So to clean it, to start, I'm using, unfortunately, the rim oil. I'm using hops. This is actually Hoppies or whatever. Hoppies, whatever you want to call it. Gun solvent or powder solvent. It's just the, to get rid of the gunpowder residue. And I'm using Hoppies number 9 oil. Well, you can't see that very well. Okay, Hoppies number 9. All right. Some parts I do use Q-tips, so anyway. All right, so first off, let's take the gun down. But before you take the gun down, you always want to check to make sure it's not loaded. You do not want to mess around with a loaded gun, especially when you're cleaning, because you got to put your hands in front of it and everything. So, nope, it's definitely not loaded. Okay, that's for the safety Nazis, which, I understand the safety thing, but we won't get into that. Okay, there is a limit. So then we're going to break it down. Now, we break it down, of course, the 1911. We're going to put the safety on. We're going to push the plunger in, turn, or not. Push the plunger down here, turn the bushing. Alright. Bushing out. Or take the recoil spring and plunger out right there. Take the barrel bushing out like that. Take your safety off. Slide your barrel, or slide your slide back to where this little groove right there is over your slide release. About there. Of course, then you're gonna, on the other side, this is where the slide release comes through the other side, so you're going to push that, okay, and then you're going to get a hold of your slide release and just pull it right on out. There you go. Okay, then you can just pull your slide off. Okay, you got your lower, not much there, and then you've got your guide rod, GI style, short. And you got your barrel. There you go. And your slide. And you're done with that part. Now what I like to do myself personally, I use a bowl, just a regular bowl, and for the smaller parts, what I'll do is I'll soak them down first, and get my I like to use one of these little rods, one of these little tubes for my gun oil spout. Let's put that in there. It's just a finer, gives a finer stream. But what I like to do, and I know a lot of people don't mess with the spring and all that, but I do. So I like to, see if I can bring you in a little closer for that. I personally like to use the oil, or use my spray on the spring and everything. So I just put a good little coat right there on the spring, and then set it in my bowl. Same thing for everything else. I spray my ejector, or my slide release, my guide rod, I spray it down. Okay. Let me try to get you a little closer here. My barrel bushing, I do it too. I know that you don't want to waste the stuff, but I don't think this is wasting. So I get inside, all around inside there. Got that, and I even do my plunger. I just spray it down a little bit. I even do the inside of it. I know that's, you don't have to, but I choose to. The barrel, very important. Very, very important part of the firearm. I strongly suggest doing the barrel very well. So we will hose it down. It's really hard to do all this watching through a viewfinder or trying to make sure you can see everything. I know I'm left-handed, so get in the barrel inside real good. Always get in there, get that clear. Okay, and I like to do the slide. Now with the slide, when you get like up in around here, I'll just do it real light up here, because obviously you don't want to get in the firing pin and all that too much. So I just get it in these grooves and stuff. So I'll try to show you if I get it on here just right. But I get in these grooves, in the slide grooves, and in the top, and I don't hose, but I get pretty much the whole thing. I go pretty light up here, but the rest of it is game, fair game. All right, so you got that. Now this, I'm just going to put over here to soak. There we go. Put that back where it was. Same with the lower. I'm gonna get it, in and around all the grooves and the holes. I even go so far into the magazine well. I clean out the magazine well too. So that's up to you guys. All right. So we got that. That can sit there and soak. Now, we're going to start with the barrel. With the barrel, what I like to do with the barrel, I just take a steel wire or a bore brush, Okay. And run it into my barrel. Okay. I get it in there, you know, a few times. I know I'm pretty religious with it, but that's just me. So get that in there. All right. And then I'm going to take the wire brush part off. I'm going to switch to this little, just a little soft brush kind of thing, or it just kind of, if it'll go in now. There we go. Alright. I'm going to run it through. Basically, it just cleans out what, you know, if there's anything else in there. You know, it gets out the spray and stuff. So go through there a couple times. Okay. Then I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put the tip on to where I can use my patches. Okay, just a regular tip, like that. Okay. Get the patches. And being a 45, it's got a bigger barrel, so it takes a couple of patches. So I use 2 patches. Actually this is 1 patch that I cut in half, and now I put the 2 together, and there you go. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in my little Doodleman gadget there. There we go. And my tip. Okay, like that. I'm gonna use my Poppies solvent. I'm just gonna kind of dip my patch in there. Run that through. Maybe. There we go. Alright. Just run it through a couple times. You know, get that. All that does, what that's for, it goes in those in your rifling, and that way, especially if you've shot lead rounds or whatever, you can get it out of the rifling that way. It gets it all out of the rifling. So I'll take that off. Throw that away, and then I'll get a dry patch, and that one was kind of long, so I'm gonna cut that off here. There. All right. Put that back on. Put this back in here, like this. And you know, I know a lot of people know this already, but as I like to say in my other videos, this isn't necessarily for people that already know how to do this, as much as it is for people that don't know. So, you know, I'm just trying to kind of put it out there for people who maybe you've never owned a 1911, maybe you've never owned a gun, just maybe you've never cleaned a gun. Well, I'm going to show you how to do it. So here we go. So we get the dry patch, just a dry patch, and we'll go in the barrel and get that leftover solvent out. Okay. Okay. Alright. And then I like to wipe off my brush, or my rod there. Gotta have a clean rod, right? Alright. That away. And next we're gonna go to the put the cap on that. Now we're gonna go to the oil. Okay. And again, this is just how I do it. So go to oil. I'm gonna put another patch on. left some over here, didn't I? You guys should have let me know. You have to watch me. I'm not, you know, I kind of go off track every once in a while. Alright, cut that off. Alright. We're going to get that back on there. Put those patches back in there. And this time, I'm going to take my oil, which is the Hops number 9 oil. I call it Hops. That's what I don't really care what it is as long as it works. And I'm going to take and I'm going to put a few drops on it. Okay. And we're going to run that through our barrel with the oil on it. And I know some people are freaking out, but you know what, people? This is me. This is how I do it. So, deal with it. Alright. Get rid of those. A couple more patches. And we're just going to use dry patches this time again. Just regular old, nothing on them. Okay, feed that in there. Maybe. Alright, like I said, these are just dry, nothing on them. And I'm going to just run it in and out. In and out. Okay? And that just kind of wipes off the excess oil, but still have oil in it, in the barrel. So, alright. That pretty much does it as far as the barrel is concerned. I am going to, I do want to wipe it down. Wipe it down a little bit here. And yes, this is a long video. Okay. But you know, I notice people don't put very long videos on YouTube. I mean, if you're going to do a review, like, that's why I like Nut and Fancy's videos so much, because he does good long in-depth videos, in-depth reviews of whatever he's reviewing. I mean, he's the only man I know, man or woman, that can do an hour video on a knife. That's hard to do. That's hard to, the talking points are really hard to get. It's hard to sit there and talk an hour about a damn knife. Okay, so got done with the barrel. So we're gonna put the barrel back in the deal here, and just kind of clean the little parts up here. Just kind of wipe them down, and what I do is, and I know, like I said, people are gonna freak out. I put just a little bit of oil on my finger, okay, and I put that on my slide release, you know, where it goes into the slide, you know, just right here. I just put it on there, get a little light coat on there. My barrel bushing, pretty much same. I do the same thing with it. You get it nice and cleaned out, get the solvent or the rim oil out of it. And see, the thing is, when I get my CLP, I'm gonna have to come in and take all my guns and alcohol them all down, strip them, strip the rim oil garbage off of them, and redo them with CLP. So that there's not a mix of the two the two oils. So again, I'm going to put some oil on my finger, and I'm just gonna put it around the barrel bushing here. Just kind of coat the barrel bushing in it. Just a light coat. The oil's not going to hurt anything. And when the gun's all the way back together, we're done. It's going to get another good wipe down anyway. So that's good and oiled. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the guide rod. Same thing. I'm going to wipe it down, wipe the rim oil off of it, and that'll take care of the excess rim oil anyway. And then I'm going to put some more oil on my finger again, and I'm going to put it around my guide rod. Just kind of lightly put it on the guide rod there. Okay, guide rod's done. Spring, not so much. I mean, I'll run it through my fingers where I had oil on it, on my fingers. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. So my plunger, I'll take a swab, okay, and I'll clean that out. I like to keep that clean. Okay. And kind of coat it as well on the outside. Oh wait, let me wipe the rim oil off of it first. Bad me. Wipe the rim oil off, and then I'll just put just a little, just barely anything on my finger there, and just kind of coat it around it too. Just put real light coat. Alright, and that's all for those parts. And now we get into the main parts, the slide. Here we go with the slide. So the slide, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my rag, I'm just going to wipe it out real good first. Wipe the rim oil out of it. I'm going to get in these grooves real good, in the slide, where the slide goes together, or where the slide fits to the frame. You know, get in these grooves real good. I'll tell you, it's kind of hard to do with a rag. That's why I use Q-tips to get into the edges of where the frame goes together. That way you can really get in there good, and in between everything else. Okay. Wipe the grooves inside where the lockup is, where the barrel locks up. See it right in there? That's where your barrel locks up. So we'll get in there with the Q-tips. Okay. Alright. Now, I want to show you a little deal here. As far as where the firing pin is, or where the firing pin comes out right here, okay, I use a steel wire brush. And if I can find it, okay, and I take it and I just brush the inside right there, just where the firing pin comes out, just to make sure there's no carbon buildup or anything right there. So get that nice and clean. And you don't want to spray right there. You don't want to get any solvent or anything going down into where the firing pin is inside there. I don't think it would really hurt it that much, but you never know, I guess. Some people say, oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, no. Okay. Get this. In here. Clean the inside real clean there. Pull that through a little bit. Okay. Alright. And you know, an old toothbrush, you know, or whatever, that really works good too. For like, you know, a soft bristle brush. So we'll get up in here. You know, you want to wipe it off good, or I do. Wipe it off really good. All right. So you got that part. Wipe, get it nice and cleaned off, and like I was showing you, in here, these grooves in here, you want to make sure you get those real well, and then in these where these slide fits to the frame in here all the way up, you want to get those real good. That's where you use your Q-tips, okay? And then in the lockup right there, okay? So with that being said, what I'm going to do with it now, I'm going to take a Q-tip, okay, and I'm going to put some oil on it, okay, and surprise, surprise, right? And then I'm going to run this through the rails where the slide locks or goes onto the frame there. I'm going to run it through those grooves, okay, and I'm going to get down in the lockups. I'm going to put some oil on the lockups down in there so that they're good and lubed up, okay. And then up here on top, I'm going to put just a little bit on this in the sides here, okay. And I like to do the top edges. I know it don't last very long, but I like to run it, you know, down the edge right here of your slide, like that, okay. And now you're done with the slide, so you just kind of set it off to the side here, and then we go to the lower part, okay, and we're going to do the same thing with the lower. We're going to wipe it off real good. Get in the rails there. And you know, and like I say, you might not want to clean it this, you know, this good. This is just how I do it, and I take a lot of pride in my firearms, so I like to keep them clean, very clean. You know, I do what I can to take good care of my weapons or my guns, so that, you know, later on down the road, when they get passed on to my niece and nephew, family or whatever, then they'll be in good shape. So let's see here. So I'm going to run this in the magazine well, or up the handle here, so get that coming through, maybe. Let's see if I can get a hold of it. Almost. There we go. Alright. Just kind of pull that up through there a little bit. pull it out. Alright. Well, that's pretty good. Good and wipe down. Okay. Alright. Now that that's done, I'm going to take another Q-tip. I'm going to put some more oil on it. I'm pretty liberal with the oil. I put quite a bit on there, so. Alright. I'm going to take it, I'm going to run it through the rails so you can see it. Try to run it down the rails where it fits to the slide. Get in the holes here. In there. Okay. On both sides. I'm going to do that to both sides, get it nice and oiled. Okay. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, okay. Alright. And that, my friends, would be that. That's my cleaning. Now we'll put it back together. Our slide. Our barrel in the slide. Guide rod, your spring, put your spring in there. Maybe. Alright. There we go. Put your plunger cap on. Put your lower to your slide. Like I said in my other video, you may have to push in on the barrel to get the slide to actually come back all the way. Can be kind of a pain sometimes. What we do here. Okay. Of course, you're gonna have trouble when you're on camera, right? It just wouldn't be right if you didn't. So, all right, let's try it again. Okay, let's see. There. Get in there. Alright. Had the little parts back here. Okay. Then we're going to take the slide back. You're gonna put that notch right there over the where the slide release goes in. Take your slide release. There. You got to be careful. You don't want to push too hard, or you don't want to slide it up and cause it to, there we go, cause it to make what they call an idiot mark when it scratches, makes a scratch up the the frame there. Don't want to do that. Okay, so at that, we're going to put the safety on. Alright. Put our barrel bushing back in. Turn it over to the left side. Take our plunger, put it back on. Okay. Push that down. And be really careful with this, because you can seriously hurt yourself with that spring, that guide rod spring. Okay, and then match that back up and take the weapon off safe. Do a function check. Okay. Alright. Yes, I dry fired my 1911s. Okay, so you're done with that part. So you're going to take your rag now and just kind of wipe it off. It just wipes the, that's just to wipe off the excess oil. Okay. Okay. Get up in the edges of the slide here. That it really comes out right there. All right. That. Now I don't know if you've seen these, or if any of you, I know some of you use them, a lot of you use them, but these oil rags are kind of a preservative rag. Work really well. Just take that, wipe your gun down. They kind of stink. I don't know why that. I guess it's just the oil they have on them or whatever. But all right. And then I do go back over it just to wipe that excess off, just lightly with the rag here. Okay. I mean, it's not going to hurt it, but you don't want it being slippery, you know. So getting the dovetail there, clean that out real good. All right, there you go. One more function check. All right, and there you go. So guys, I really hope that hope you got something out of this video. I know I haven't put out videos for a while, but I'm getting back on track here. So there will be more to come. If you like my videos, subscribe. If you want to leave comments, leave comments. Keep them clean. I want this to be family oriented so that anybody can watch the videos and leave comments. So suggestions, I'm totally open to suggestions, so you can go ahead and leave those down there. Alright guys, and oh, one more thing I was gonna tell you also with the 1911s, you know, there's quite a bit to cleaning, you know, as far as what you saw. The Glocks, they're a lot easier to clean.